President Ramaphosa dumps his nephew as the Special Investigating Unit, SIU, raids Hangwani Maumela's mansion and seizes 3 Lamborghinis and other assets worth millions. What happens when the fight against corruption hits close to home? On October 9, 2025, President Cyril Ramaphosa faced an impossible choice: defend his family or defend his nation. As investigators descended on his nephew Hangwani Maumela's mansion, seizing a trio of Lamborghinis allegedly bought with stolen public funds, Ramaphosa secretly made his decision, a bold one that would appease his legion of supporters and haters alike. But the raid on Maumela's home is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Hangwani Maumela, a businessman with extensive ties to government contracts, found his world upended when investigators from the Special Investigating Unit, SIU, arrived at his opulent mansion in the upscale Sandhurst area of Johannesburg. The property, a 3-story fortress with commanding views of the Johannesburg skyline through vast floor-to-ceiling windows, stands as a symbol of extraordinary wealth. Inside, multiple bedrooms and dining areas feature hotel-style interiors in shades of cream, white, and brown, complete with wall-mounted televisions and carefully placed paintings on the walls. The home even includes its own car wash, a fully equipped gym, a home salon ready for use, a massage parlor, and an elevator for easy movement between floors. On that Thursday morning, teams from the Special Investigating Unit, supported by officers from the South African Police Service and the Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department, entered the premises under a court order. Their mission was clear: to seize assets believed to have been acquired through improper means linked to the Tembisa hospital scandal. Among the items taken were 3 Lamborghinis, each a masterpiece of engineering and luxury. One was an Urus SUV, valued at nearly 5 million rand, with less than 500 kilometers on its odometer, appearing almost brand new. Another was a Huracan STO, priced at around 8.7 million rand, and the third an Aventador, possibly an SVJ or Ultimi Coupe model, estimated at up to 17.9 million rand. All shared a striking azure frost blue color, parked in a garage adorned with images of similar high-end vehicles and shelves displaying miniature car collections. These supercars were loaded onto trucks and removed from the property, part of a broader effort to recover assets totaling hundreds of millions of rand. Investigators also documented expensive furniture and valuable artwork, reaching an agreement with Maumela's legal team to have these items assessed by a curator before any further action, ensuring they could not be sold or transferred in the meantime. This raid by the SIU stems from a 3-year investigation into widespread misconduct at Tembisa Hospital, where Maumela's network of companies allegedly siphoned off 820 million rand in just 2 years. The Special Investigating Unit identified Maumela as the leader of one of 3 major syndicates that collectively drained over 2 billion rand from the hospital's funds through manipulated procurement processes. These groups exploited loopholes by splitting contracts to avoid competitive bidding, inflating prices for supplies like medical consumables, catering services, and cleaning materials, and routing payments through a web of 41 interconnected entities. The syndicates circumvented controls meant to ensure fair spending, allowing funds intended for patient care to flow into private hands. Maumela's operations stood out as the most prolific, securing the largest share of the diverted money. The story traces back to 2021, when Babita Deokaran, a dedicated official at the Gauteng Department of Health, began uncovering these irregularities. Just 19 days before her tragic death, she flagged suspicious payments involving companies linked to Maumela and others. Her forensic report highlighted 14 entities associated with Maumela that received contracts worth 415 million rand, marking them as potentially fraudulent. Maumela's reach extended beyond Tembisa Hospital. He pursued a 1 billion rand food supply tender in the Northwest Province through a company called Alu Construction and Supply, which submitted documents that later raised suspicions of forgery, including a questionable BEE certificate. When Alu lost the bid, legal challenge involving a shadowy figure named Opa Brown Mukhotsi, who filed court actions to interdict and potentially overturn the award. Mukhotsi, through his foundation, claimed to act in the public interest, citing concerns from an unnamed whistleblower about the tender process favoring a single provider. His efforts temporarily halted the contract, affecting food services for 11 major health facilities and impacting over 1 million patients and staff. of Health had to scramble for alternatives, highlighting the real-world consequences of such disruptions. Interestingly, Mukhotsi's involvement appeared timed perfectly with another similar tender emerging soon after. ALU bid again, and upon disqualification, initiated its own legal review. Investigations revealed ALU's director, Teboko Sebokodi, took over in November 2023 after the previous director, Aluani Titus Maumela, Hangwani Maumela's cousin, resigned shortly before dying in a car accident. The company, established in 2011, was among over 200 suppliers Deokaran had red-flagged as suspicious. Mukhotsi, despite denying any knowledge of Maumela in public statements, has been linked to broader networks of influence, including connections to suspended police minister Senzo Mpunu and figures in crime intelligence. He was implicated in soliciting funds from a criminal suspect for travel expenses, using text messages that suggested leveraging political channels for tenders. President Cyril Ramaphosa's connection to Maumela adds another layer to this intricate tale. Maumela is described as Ramaphosa's nephew from a previous marriage, a claim Ramaphosa has firmly rejected. In parliamentary responses, Ramaphosa denied any relationship or knowledge of Maumela, particularly when questioned about the Tembisa hospital dealings. This denial came amid accusations from opposition leaders that Maumela operated unchecked under Ramaphosa's watch.
A recent example, one of your own nephews, whose company scored contracts worth 381 million rand from Gauteng hospitals. And you write that it's not being felt by the majority of our citizens because BE only benefits ANC-connected cronies.
No, you keep saying my nephew. I don't even know this gentleman. And so let's not even get there. I don't know him.
It is important that we emphasize the position of the President with respect to the News 24 story on a certain Mr. Maumela and his cozy relationship, as claimed by News 24 with the President. And we do find the headline misleading, and the President's position on the matter is as follows. To the extent that Mr. Maumela is the son of the President's ex-brother-in-law, the President has no further knowledge of Maumela, nor has he ever had any relationship with him. Beyond being cousins, the President's son, Andela Ramaphosa, has no close ties with Maumela. In the exercise and fulfillment of his constitutional powers, the President remains duty-bound to always act in accordance to the Constitution and his oath of office. This it does without any fear or favor. Proclamations are never signed on the basis of individuals involved. The Special Investigating Units and Special Tribunals Act No. 74 of 1996 sets out guidelines in which the President may exercise his powers. The President considers each and every application by the SIU on its merit, and he will certainly sign such a proclamation should the SIU, as it so often does, motivate for the need for such an investigation. The President does not have any knowledge of Mr. Maumela's business dealings. Neither was he aware of his involvement with the Tembisa Hospital or any other state entity.
By publicly dumping any association, Ramaphosa signals a commitment to distancing himself from the scandal, though critics argue it underscores systemic failures in oversight. The Asset Forfeiture Unit has played a key role in freezing Maumela's empire, obtaining orders to preserve properties and vehicles worth over 325 million rand held under the MHR Maumela Family Trust, where Maumela serves as a trustee. These include a sprawling mansion in Bantry Bay, Cape Town, overlooking the Carbon-Kelberg and valued at 88.5 million rand. There are also two neighboring properties in Sandton, in Johannesburg, worth 69.7 million and 71.6 million rand respectively. Additional assets encompass a flat in 3 Anchor Bay, Cape Town, at 14.5 million rand, a home in the Pecanwood estate along the Hartbeespoort Dam, priced at 13.6 million rand, and a villa in the Zimbali Coastal Estate in Bellito, valued at 9.4 million rand. Beyond the Lamborghinis, The list features a Bentley Continental GT V8 at 4.1 million rand and a Regency 250 LE3 boat worth 1.9 million rand. The total value of tracked assets exceeds 500 million rand, all now under scrutiny as potentially funded by tainted contracts. Raids extended to these properties across the country on the same day, with investigators removing high-end items by the truckload. In Johannesburg, locksmiths assisted in gaining entry, and removal teams worked methodically, ensuring nothing was overlooked. This operation is part of a 300 million rand forfeiture case, aiming to recover funds for the public purse. The Special Investigating Unit emphasizes that this is about implementing investigation outcomes and enforcing consequence management, with more details to follow once legal steps conclude.
Days ago, last week Monday, we released an interim report, and amongst others, we had reported that at that time, the investigating team had gone through the purchase orders of about 1,728 relating to Maumela Syndicate. Remember, the investigation is still ongoing, right? And at that time, we had said the value of those purchase orders was about 816 million, right? Now, when we got the order from the special tribunal, the special tribunal gave us an order. When we announced on Monday, we said on that day in the morning, the special tribunal had granted us an order after the AFU, Asset Forfeiture Unit, also obtained an order in the High Court, right? Now, the order was also varied on the 7th of October. 7th of October, 2 days ago, we got another variation of the order, and the variation actually gives us the preservation to the value of 900 million, right? So this is only for the syndicate relating to Maumela, and under this syndicate, as you know, there's other companies.
Thanks for watching.